So one of the most common questions I get as a pastor is this: David, what should I do with my life? And my most common response to them is, wait for it, I don't know. Great video, thanks for watching. Yeah, I guess that joke only works if you don't know how long the rest of the video is going to be. Hello Internet, my name is David Dorn and this is the Pursuit Blog. Well, this is a common question that I get, so I want to answer it for you since apparently, I don't know isn't a really popular answer for people. As a pastor, people come to me wanting to have a spiritual insight of what God is wanting them to do for the rest of their lives. It's like they expect that God has told me to tell them what they should do, which He hasn't, by the way, at least in most instances. He has not informed me what it is you are supposed to do with your life. But let me tell you how God works in these matters, and hopefully that'll shed some light for you maybe. So one of the ways that we can find out what God wants us to do with the rest of our life is through Him calling us into something. To be called into a profession or a mission or something. Now this is really nice for us because we don't have to make any decisions. It's like God calls us to do this, so we do this. For me, God called me into ministry. Like, I couldn't fight it. If I fought it, I'd be miserable for the rest of my life because I know that this is what God intended for me to do. That's wonderful, but God most often calls us to do things that we may not do otherwise because it's typically really tough. God doesn't call us to do easy things, so when God calls us, and while that's nice and clean for us because we don't have to make any decisions, it's often to very tough things. And throughout the Bible, you see God calling particular people in particular times to do particular things. And that's great. And He still does that today, but He doesn't do that for everybody. So what are the other ways that God lets us know what to do with our lives? Well, the next is through your passion. What are you passionate about? What drives you to go and do things? When you wake up in the morning, what would you be excited to do for the rest of your life? If something is popping into your head and it's not video games, then probably God has given you a passion to go and do something. So you may want to look at what it would be like to do that for the rest of your life. I really believe that God gives us passions for a reason. And as long as those things are good things, then why not pursue those? If you're questioning what you're supposed to do for the rest of your life, what makes you excited to get up in the morning? Now, people will tell you, find a job that, pays really well, and then you can do whatever you want on the side. But if you're not happy in doing what you do, what's really the point? If it's not satisfying at some level, what's really the point? Now, yeah, there are jobs that, make ends meet. But why not find something that you're passionate about doing? Now, what about the people who aren't passionate about anything and aren't called into anything? And yes, there are those people. Well, for those, I have good news and I have bad news. The good news is God gives you a choice. God is a God of choices. He's a God of free will, and He gives you the opportunity to choose what it is you're going to do. And that's great. You have a decision to make. The problem is, for some of us, we have a decision to make. And if you're anything like me, making decisions, life-changing decisions, can be a little tough. I hate making big decisions. I hate making decisions at Starbucks, but you have a choice. It's not that God doesn't care about you. It's not that He has not called you for something particular to do in a particular time to do a particular thing, but that He has given you the opportunity to look at life and say, choose something. You get to choose what you get to do for the rest of your life. That's a pretty amazing gift when you think about it. The question is, do you know if you're choosing something wrong? And the way I approach it is this. You pray about it. If God doesn't give you a clear decision of which direction to go, then say, God, I'm going to lean into doing this thing. And I'm going to walk down that path until you tell me to turn around. So that you're walking, you're constantly listening to see if you need to do something different. But for all of us, we're all called to make disciples of all people, teaching them what we have been taught. And we're to love God and to love people. That is a blanket instruction for every one of us. So don't forget that when you're making your decision what to do for the rest of your life. I hope you found this video informative and fun. If you did, make sure you leave a comment or your thoughts down below. Share it with your friends. I hope you have a great day. See you soon. God bless.